But you know what? No one will write off, Garrett.
What's that, Liam?
The Dupp Cup.
So the Dupps come out to jive talking with Disco Inferno, and they have a chalkboard. And Ricky Steamboat mistakenly earlier in the show gave the Dupps carte blanche to do whatever the hell they want. And the Dupps took that opportunity to create the Dupp Cup. A wonderful tournament with the most bizarre series of rules you will ever see, which I will read to you now. Rule number 1. Put your opponent through a table, you'll get 2.5 points. Worth stating, first to 10 points wins the Dupp Cup. The Dupp Cup is basically a title belt, so whoever wins it holds the Dupp Cup and defends the Dupp Cup.
The second official TNA title.
Yeah, it's the mid-card belt that everyone was waiting for. So rule number 1, opponent through a table, 2.5 points. 5 points if it's a burning table. Good rule. Rule number 2, put your opponent's head in the toilet, 2.5 points. If there's sheet in the toilet, 3.5 points.
Goose a woman.
Goose a woman, indeed, 2.5 points. Goose a man, 3.5 points. That's an equality right there, Liam.
They should be given 3.5 points for hitting either or anyone. Anyone who gets hit should be worth 3.5 points, in my opinion, regardless of gender.
This is a commentary on how women are valued less in the workplace. It's the deep themes of NWA-TNA. When a man and a woman do the same activity, women are paid less and valued less in the workplace. And this is the kind of commentary and message that TNA is sending. It's actually the Dupp Cup is quite progressive when you think about it. It's the degree to which it is regressive, Liam, is obviously to shine a spotlight on those inequalities.
Of course.
That's the storytelling of NWA-TNA. Rule number 4, if you nail Jeremy the creepy announcer, you get 2.5 points.
Which I was very confused by the verbiage of this and the next rule.
Yes, rule number 5 is nail the old lady who takes the tickets. You also get 2.5 points. Liam thought it was a different kind of nailing.
Yeah, I was very confused about it. I legitimately was like, what kind of segments are they going to film to put on this show?
Just means hit them, Liam. Nothing else. But on the other hand, the rule number 6, use a farm animal. 2.5 points.
Yeah, that's more open to interpretation.
I believe Stand Up makes it very clear that there can be some nailing in the farm animal section.
And not punching them. Well, I suppose. This is, yeah. What do you want from me here? Rule
number 7, spank opponent's bare ass with horsey poo, 2.5 points. However, minus 2.5 points if they like it.
And wouldn't you believe it?
Rule number 8.
He likes it. Oh. He likes it. That's what I'm saying.
You left too long a pause. I was like, oh.
I thought you...
Alright.
This is a good segment. What's number 8, Garrett?
Introduce your opponent to Jay, 2.5 points.
And who is Jay, Garrett?
They said they'd get to it.
Mm-hmm.
Cry like a pussy, minus 5 points. I'm now slipping into a stand-up impression. Which, fair play to Trevor Murdoch, by the way. He gives his heart and soul to these descriptions.
He sure fucking does.
He is fully embodying this dumbass Dupp character with every fiber of his being.
I guess the thing is, the Dupps are doing, not the best gimmick in the world, but they are, putting their full effort into it, and both are good workers.
Because there's a moment during the horsey poo bit where he's like, spank your opponent's bare ass with horsey poo, and Disco starts talking for a second. And then, Trevor Murdoch starts riding horsey poo in a way that seems like a spontaneous, he just decided to ride horsey poo out of excitement for horsey poo spanking people. And it's like, you've thought about this character.
He's probably just out there having fun, to be fair.
He's just having himself a good time riding horsey poo.
I don't know how number 10, is worth 10 points.
So you put your opponent's head in a cotton candy machine, you get 10 points. You win the match.
Not worth 10 points.
Yeah, especially Flaming Table is 5 points, but Cotton Candy Machine is 10. That doesn't seem right.
Of course, there was also an added rule that if you take a weapon from the fans.
Oh yes, the Disco rule, where he was like, if you take a weapon from the fans, you should get, I think he suggested 5 points, but then Stand Up was like, that scoring mechanism doesn't make sense. People can just hit people with weapons twice, they'll win. It's only 1 point. This is why Disco, you don't make matches.
That's true. One of the many reasons why Disco doesn't make matches.
So that's the Dupp Cup. We had the added stakes, because the first Dupp Cup match was the Dupps against Ed Ferrara, and the Dupps had to incentivize Ed Ferrara to do the match.
Yeah, so what was on the line here? Yeah.
So, Fluffed Up, who hasn't been seen and wasn't seen on any of these shows.
She's not getting paid. She's not getting paid to come into these shows.
And this is the last we'll see of the Dupps as well. So, the Dupp Cup's
What?
the end of the Dupps.
What?
But yes, the winner of the Dupp Cup would get to have fun times with Fluff, but also the Dupps would be able to watch.
Yep. Ed Ferrara, of course.
He was all over it.
Yeah, he had to be a part of it.
Spearing people so he can get as close to Fluffed Up as he possibly can.
Turning on longtime best friend, Jeremy Borash.
Yeah, their wholesome relationship we were talking about 2 weeks ago on the July episode, where they bonded over their sexual activities and their love of Jasmine St. Clair. Well, it's all out the window here because Ed Ferrara went straight for Jeremy for the 2.5 points.
That bastard. Now they're both in full sail, so how does that work out?
Oh, no. So, this match, I think, is actually very good. Not in, like, the traditional sense of pro wrestling.
You've heard it from Garrett, everyone. 5 stars for the Dupp Cup first round match.
Listen, if you check our star rating spreadsheet, you will perhaps see that I gave this match 5 stars. You gave it 4, so you leave me alone.
I gave it a reasonable rating.
I'm pretty sure it's your joint highest rated match in TNA history.
Yeah, and I stand by that. There's been 2 matches that have been 4 stars in TNA's history. Ed Ferrara versus the Dupps, and AJ Styles, Jerry Lynn, Low-Key Psychosis.
The 2 best matches in the history of the TNA wrestling promotion.
But 5 is ridiculous.
No, it's the pinnacle of our art form, which is funny because I gave the following week's match -5 stars. So it's really the duality of man is the Dupp Cup.
Yeah. So clearly what you're saying is that Ed Ferrara is what brought this up to 5 stars.
That's true. Ed Ferrara is a superstar, 5-star worker. He's had 1 match in the history of TNA, and it got 5 stars. That is an unbeatable record.
From you.
He's the best wrestler in TNA history, objectively.
He does have the best success rate.
Nobody else has an average star rating in TNA history of 5 stars. So what more could you possibly want in the world?
Well, what about Cheeks?
Hey, I gave that Cheeks match like a star. I could look at it, but I won't. Because you have to look at it at patreon.com/kiddingme.
Wow.
But, like, it's not good, but it's good, you know?
Yeah, I get what you mean. I mean, I went 4 stars on it. I gave it an 8 out of 10.
You were very pleased with this Dupp Cup match as well.